All right, folks, it's springtime. Time to de-winterize the 2016 Minnie Winnie 25B Class C RV. First thing we're going to do, come back over here to the hot water system. You can look at my previous video showing how I winterized it. First thing we're going to do is just go ahead and put this zinc rod back into the hot water heater and tighten that up. Now I am going to put a little bit of plumber's thread tape around the threads of this thing just so it doesn't leak. Just like that, nothing crazy, just a little bit there. Okay, and then set it in. And I have here my extension ratchet. This is with a 1 1/16. So next thing I'm going to do here is put some water in the onboard tank. Don't need to fill it all the way up, just put enough in there, maybe half to 2/3 full, so that we can flush out all the antifreeze in the system. So I'm going to let that run for a little bit and start to fill up the tank. So while that's still filling up, this is the tank drain, which I have closed. So making sure that's closed, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. And then this valve right here is the one that I had previously used to connect my antifreeze. And you see the valve is pointing upwards in line with the antifreeze line. I'm going to flip that backwards. So now this valve will be pulling off the tank again. So when you turn on the water pump, it's going to be pulling water from what's in the tank rather than what would be coming out this line to the antifreeze bottle. Now I'm going to make sure my power's on here. And I'm going to turn my water pump on. And you normally hear it prime, but it's already primed because I already did that actually. And then you're just going to run your water until the pink runs out. Okay, and that's cold. Then you're going to do the same with the hot. And this is not yet, this is bypassing the hot water heater. So it's not going into the hot water heater because we shut that off when we winterized in the first place. So I'm going to fix those valves, turn those valves after I ensure that all the antifreeze is out of the system. And I'm going to do this here. I'm going to do it in the shower. Same, hot and cold in the shower. I'm going to do it in the bathroom sink, hot and cold. And then I'm going to do it in the toilet as well. Finally, the toilet, same thing, just going to run that water until it runs clear. Now what I'm going to do is take out that register, which is my access to my hot water heater valves, and then turn them back on to put water back into the hot water heater now that we got the antifreeze out. You can use a drill or just a Phillips head here, which is good enough, simple enough. Okay, you see that valve pointed up, and there's another one back there also pointed up. Basically, we're just going to point them, push them down so that they're pointing towards the back of the vehicle, in line, pointing down. See if I can get that other one. And immediately what you hear, because the water pump is on, is water being sent to the hot water heater. See, the valve is now pointing backwards, so is this one. And no antifreeze in there, so it's a good thing. Now, I had to open this valve and run it for quite some time to let all the air come out, because I had to wait for that. There's a lot of air trapped in the system from the hot water heater, so I had to turn that valve. Now what I'm going to do, since I'm in the process of getting ready for the season here, I'm going to turn on my hot water heater now that I've got it full of water. Turn on my, my propane here and just kick it on turn on all my systems, make sure I don't get any leaks. Back in here, we're going to turn that on. Check that pilot light. Meanwhile, I'll come back here and I'll cut this on too. Yep, and I can confirm now the water is running warm. I got no leaks on the outside, so job is done. And the last step is I just come down in here and screw this panel back on. And we're ready to hit the road. That's good, honey.